know how to make the most of their summers. It's the football season, and the final of the Women's World Cup will be staged in the Swedish capital later this month. But whether they're moving to the slower pace of winter or the buzz of summer, this is a city of style, which is why the annual fashion show in the Stockholm Exhibition Centre is an important date on the calendar, and some interesting new designers have emerged. Fashion shows are where deals are done and where new brand names are introduced. One of them is the Dahlin brand of sports shirts, already in the shops and destined to be the subject of a major sales drive this autumn.
I've always been interested in fashion, so it's really great to have my own collection.
A recent survey revealed that Martin Dahlin is the 7th best-known face in Sweden, ahead of any other sports person, in a line led by the Swedish royal family and senior politicians. So the marketing campaign to launch Dahlin's shirt power is much more sophisticated than the man himself makes it sound.
There's a factory on Småland that contacted me. They needed a name on a new line of shirts. I thought it was a good idea, so I joined them and it's gone very well. Great fun.
Dahlin's face and his goal-scoring ability have big selling power. His father was a Venezuelan musician, his mother a Swedish psychologist, their son named after Martin Luther King. His early career at Malmö was marred by injury, but eventually in 1991 he took the traditional Swedish path abroad.
I actually had invitations from 2 clubs, one from Saint-Etienne and one from Germany. I thought that the German league was more interesting, and there were better opportunities for me there.
He chose Borussia Mönchengladbach, and at first he was just another Swedish export in another mid-table team. But gradually Dahlin's star has risen and risen. This season Mönchengladbach are in the final of the German Cup, are high enough in the league to qualify for European club competition, and they're having to resist offers from England, Portugal, Holland and Italy for Martin Dahlin. Few strikers have appealed to such a broad cross-section of clubs, but Dahlin's eye for goal is matched by a power that at times makes him almost impossible to stop. It was the road to USA 94 which lifted Dahlin to serious attention. With Thomas Brolin struggling to recapture his best form, it was Dahlin and his 7 goals in the qualifying games that made the big difference. When they headed off to the United States, with Brolin back in the fold, coach Tommy Svensson had assembled an experienced squad, many of them playing at Europe's top clubs. The mood was positive.
One of the most important things that Tommy Svensson taught us before we went to the World Cup was that we must believe that we could win the World Cup. And he made us think about winning. That was a major factor in our success. We believed in ourselves, although others were pessimistic.
It didn't start well for Sweden and Dahlin. In the heat of Los Angeles, they struggled against Cameroon, and Dahlin picked up his first booking for deliberate handball. But then, they really got going.
I've always been really good at heading. I hadn't scored many goals with headers for a long time. I've only scored 5 overall. So I was happy to have scored 3 with my head.
Into the quarter-finals they went, with Dahlin and Anderson up front, and the irrepressible Brolin popping up everywhere. They were tested to the limit by Romania, but reached the semi-final thanks to the brilliance of goalkeeper Thomas Ravelli. Brazil eventually beat them, but Sweden finished a famous third overall.
Back home in Sweden, some of the profits of their World Cup success have helped finance the building of new stands at the Rosunda Stadium in Stockholm. The enthusiasm for the game as they head for a European Championship qualifying match against Iceland has never been stronger, particularly among the younger generations. But Sweden's World Cup bubble has burst. They're struggling to qualify for the Euro '96 finals in England. They've won only 3 of their last 7 matches. Thomas Brolin's long-term ankle injury was just one setback, but he's fit again, and that'll certainly make a difference.
I hope so. It's nice for me to be home from Italy and see all my mates like this. And I think maybe my presence could help a little. But for myself, I want to make sure I contribute something on the pitch.
We've had some problems with injuries and suspensions, and we've had a bit of bad luck. We've had 3 away games which have been very difficult, and now we have 3 home games which we have to win to be able to qualify for the European finals.
And for Thomas Ravelli, this would be his 125th cap, equaling the world record for a goalkeeper held by England's Peter Shilton.
It's a dream come true. I've looked at that figure of 125 international matches, which Peter Shilton has achieved, and more or less felt that it was impossible to play so many matches at this level. But now I'm there.